The title Moonglow is, well, I've always found the moon to be fascinating, and I work at night, and to me the night world and darkness and the moonlight, so to speak, equal peace and escape from reality, from the shallow rat race that we are all meant to take part in and day out. And I think there's something really weird about a lot of things that are commonly considered to be normal. And I think there's a lot of beauty in a lot of things that are commonly considered grotesque or abnormal. And the album Moonglow is about a nocturnal creature that has a hard time coping with the bright reality of the bold and the beautiful, the reality that it's been created into, and therefore it wants to escape, and it seeks shelter in the dark. It turns to the dark to escape from reality, and it wants to be invisible in the moon glow. The artwork is really quite Tim Burton-esque. That's what I thought when I discovered the illustrator, because many of his works had such an eerie and grotesque and beautiful and fantastic element at the same time. And they had that Tim Burton-esque playfulness. So I wanted to have an artwork that would stand out and be beautiful and strange and different at the same time. And Alexander Jansson, that Swedish painter that I bumped into, he asked me what the main character is going through emotionally in the story, and I explained, and he took his paintbrush and he painted the mental constitution of the creature in the story, and how this creature mentally walks away into its own reality. It's a conceptual album, but I'm not sure the genre police would call it a metal opera or rock opera, because, as I previously said, all songs work individually and they are not based on an arc of suspense. So it's still, the whole album is an album about a creature that has been created into an environment where it doesn't find its place, and it can't cope with the expectations of its surroundings. And the subtitle is Narratives of a Misplaced Entity. And even though the lyrics are all excerpts of the world of thought of that main creature, or the experience of that main creature, they all deal with things that are very dear to my heart, like adjusting and not being able to adjust, and expectations and conviction, and how you have to, how you're asked to forget about your conviction just to fit in. And it's about the difficulty of finding your place and being out of place, and at the same time it's hard to believe, but at the same time it's an embracement of individualism. And I created that fantastic environment. It seems almost as if it's a fantasy album. It's been heavily influenced by the Victorian revival of the Gothic novel and dark romanticism, but at the same time I think all the topics, all the individual little poems that I'm weaving together to the entirety of Moonglow are things that everybody can relate to, I think, or a lot of people at least. I think so.